Testing. There we go. Mic check, audio check. What's up, man? Good afternoon. It's iCkEdMeL, and we're going to be talking a little bit about this school shooting, what we know about it so far anyway. Give it a second for people to join. Make sure we're running smooth. Craziness that's going on. I'm going to play a little press conference too that we can listen to and go over some of the clips. I'm going to play a little. Okay, good. Audio check is good. I can't stand that they took away the dislike, man. That kind of annoys me. I like having the dislike button there, man. You know? What's up? Good afternoon, man. I get the chat up on the screen. It works. Supposedly 3 dead and 6 hurt. Happened today around 12:55 p.m. at this Oxford High School, which is in Michigan. Let me pull up the screen here for a second. Watch it together. Man, just insanity everywhere. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like I feel like I've become desensitized almost with all these school shooting stuff. You know, it's horrible. But I guess we just the dislike button's there, but not the counter. I think the counter for the button's important. But yeah, I'm gonna play this clip. This was earlier, a little bit earlier.
It's a very tragic situation, obviously. We will brief you again later, maybe around 5 o'clock. We can give you ages of the victims, conditions of the victims, where they live, things of that nature. Behind us in the mire, they've closed the store down for us and helped us with reunification with upset parents wanting to know what's going on with their kids. There was an orderly evacuation. The school did everything right. Everybody remained in place. They barricaded themselves. Tim here has done a great job in terms of preparing. You never want to prepare for something like this, but you have to. And the school district's done a wonderful job preparing. All the doors over there are marked at the high school. If you've seen them, deputies responded. They knew where to go. We've had assistance from other police agencies nearby, Lapeer County Sheriff, Oxford Police Department, other local police departments. The response has been overwhelming. We're still doing a secondary, and we're doing a third search of the high school just to make sure there's no other victims out there. If there's anything else I missed I can answer, I will answer, and I'll defer.
Can you tell us, was this a student?
Yes, it's a 15-year-old student who was a sophomore at the high school.
Has he said, before he invoked attorney, did he say anything about what precipitated this?
I'm not going to get into that.
Okay. Was there any warning, Mike, ahead of time? Was there any messaging? Did he put out anything?
That's all under investigation at this time. We have literally probably 100 different detectives and support out here right now. We're going to talk to everybody. We're going to go through everything. But at this point in time, I can't tell you that we have that or we don't have that.
Any reason to believe the initial victims were targeted directly, or was it random?
Don't know at this point in time. Still under investigation.
Has notification been made to parents yet, or do parents still not know?
I believe all the parents know, but I can't say that for certain, but I believe they do.
So you're saying 3 deceased, how many injuries?
We have 3 deceased, 6 others that were shot. One of the 6 is a teacher.
One of the witnesses I talked to said she heard shots, it paused, she heard shots again. Do you have any idea how long he was in the school?
He fired multiple shots, I can tell you that. We've recovered multiple shell casings in the school. Somewhere in the area, obviously, with that many people shot, we're thinking, 15 to 20 shots that were fired.
So what kind of weapon was used?
How long was he?
It's a handgun.
How long
handgun?
was he in the school?
It's a semi-automatic handgun. That's all I can tell you at this point.
Did he have more than one magazine?
I'm not going to get in. Obviously, if he fired up multiple shots, more than 15, he'd have more than one magazine, yes. Deputies took him into custody. They responded. I can't tell you the exact circumstances of how that occurred, but deputies confronted him. He had the weapon on him. They took him into custody.
In the school?
Yes, sir.
Was it the child that had the issue last week, a couple weeks ago back with the deer head?
I'm not aware of that, so I can't answer that.
Was this over the course of like 15, 20 minutes? Do we know how long?
5 minutes.
What's up, man? Welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Just doing a quick little live stream about some breaking news that's going on, man. Appreciate you guys joining. Somebody said here, I live here in Michigan. This is crazy. He already lawyered up. Yeah, they just mentioned that. He lawyered up quick. Just you can't go anywhere now, man. these
Minutes. The
days.
whole thing lasted 5 minutes.
Was it a classroom or in a common area that happened?
I'm not sure on that. I'll have to get back to you again. We'll do another briefing later on when we get more
can ask the
details.
superintendent, but any indication that he was targeting a certain room for these students and the specific teacher?
I
who
can't
was
tell you that
targeting?
because I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We told us a lot and we appreciate it.
Okay.
Can we talk to the superintendent for a moment, please?
That's up to Tim.
I really don't have anything. I really don't have anything more to say other than that you certainly can pray for our families here in Oxford and our students. I'm learning information real time just as you all are. So I really don't have any more info to add.
Can you shed any light on who the student is? A 15-year-old?
I can't know.
What's your reaction to this?
Oh, of course, I'm shocked. It's devastating.
Superintendent, can you say and spell your name, please, sir?
Tim Throne, Throne.
So you had a lot of things in place. One point of entry when school is open. These students get ALICE training as well. I know that students and teachers teachers are able to communicate with one another. You also have this point of safety that you're able to get students to as well. Can you talk to me about why you didn't have metal detectors?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That's my answer to your question. No.
Wow. You just straight out no. Like you got no other. Can you tell us why? Most high schools don't have metal detectors, right? I used to go to this school in New York. Like it's kind of cutting my head off a little bit. John Adams High School. It's one of those. I remember one of my first days going to that school. Somebody tried to rob me. I was walking in this really packed hallway, and this guy tried to like slide his hand in my pocket, and I felt it, and like I slapped it away, like I hit it away, and I looked at him crazy, but he looked at me crazy too, as if I was in the wrong. This guy's trying to rob me. But I remember that school, they had metal detectors, and I think even X-ray. That thing was like an airport walking in that bit. You know what I'm saying? John Adams High School. That was in Queens, New York. I remember that. But then I also went to Aviation High School. I think that was in Manhattan. And they didn't have that kind of stuff, like, you know, metal detectors or whatever. I don't think they did.
Okay. Is that something that's ever come up?
Not that I can recall, no.
Do you have any background information on the student? Have there been any issues with this student prior to today?
Not yet.
You know who the student is?
We don't know the name. I don't know the names of the victims yet.
Yeah.
I don't know that families been contacted yet.
Okay.
So we still got our homework to do.
Certainly.
Let us go do it, and
Yeah,
we'll
no, of
come
course
back.
you do. And we know that this is difficult.
He kind of snippy. Kind of snippy. You want to play with you.
So one other thing, Superintendent, can you tell us if there are any plans for tomorrow?
Does anybody have
Can you tell-
I'll let you know as soon as I get back and have a chance to talk with my team. What time is it right now?
Good question.
2:30.
So if they're going to do another interview at 5, we'll let our families know by 5 what the plans for tomorrow are.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank
We
you.
appreciate
I've got John Lyman here speaking for all the fire departments, and he'll tell you what resources were brought here.
Chief, can you say your name and spell everything for
John
me?
Lyman, Lyman. I'm the Public Information Officer. I work for Rochester Hills Fire Department.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So we were dispatched along with the PD and the Sheriff's Office. We had about 25 agencies that responded, close to 60 ambulances. We had a couple of helicopters land also. We did transport those 6 patients. The number I'm not totally for sure on, but we did transport multiple patients to area hospitals.
Gotcha. And that's how many units?
We had close to 60 units that were dispatched here.
So you called for mutual aid, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
And so you
yes.
brought in those many units. Why?
Well, we didn't know how many victims we had originally, so you just start bringing everybody in.
I was going to say, can you describe your procedures? What kind of a playbook you pull out for a day like today?
Well, we do practice that, and we worked with the Sheriff's Office very closely on this type of incident. So the idea of bringing up units from multiple departments and private agencies that's pretty much a standard. We practice for that.
And you handle fire as well as EMS response?
Are they still?
Everyone is out.
You handle fire as well as EMS response?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
And it's in a fluid situation like this. You really don't know what you're going to find.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
So how do you and your personnel handle a case like this today?
Well, we run through the incident command system. You know,
Has like his little pauses on there.
there's other emergency.
I downloaded this off of a live feed.
Some signal breakup here from Detroit.
So let me just pause it there for a second. Thank you guys for joining. I'll do a little recap. We're still waiting for like more developing information. And by the way, thank you, Ann Bays, for the super chat. Gracias. There was a shooting at Oxford High School in Michigan. And apparently this 15-year-old did the shooting. He was a sophomore. The initial 911 call about the shooting, authorities said, came in about 12:51 p.m. and was followed by at least 100 more. More than 100 police officers, including the FBI special agent in charge, and 60 ambulances responded. Wow. And the victims were taken to local hospitals. We don't know the ages. We don't know the names of like the victims. And the only thing about the like perpetrator is that we've gotten so far is that he's 15. I'm going to play another clip too, which some people, I saw little things floating around in the internet. See, this is just news, so we're going to see what pops up. But rumors supposedly that people may have known something about this, like had some sort of forethought or warning. I'm going to play a clip of this parent in a second talking about it. And I'm kind of just browsing to see what else is coming up with this story. I also see somebody here on Twitter's Beth says, my friend's daughter is in surgery. She was shot in this shooting this afternoon at Oxford High School. Please pray. I don't know any further details.
The TV station feeding this interview live from Detroit, Michigan.
Person was alone, if there are others, just give us a
Point in time, we believe he acted alone. There's no other shooters, there's no other gunmen. We don't believe anybody at this point in time, pending further investigation, that he planned this with anybody else. But we will be doing social media checks. We will be talking to all the students, as many as we can that were here today. That's why we have so many officers here and so many detectives here, so that everybody and anybody can be talked to that has any knowledge of him or what he was going to do, or after the fact.
You mentioned the FBI is here.
Yes, Tim Waters.
Could you please step up, sir? Yeah. Identify yourself for us, please.
Yeah, I'm Tim Waters. I'm the special agent in charge here for the FBI in Michigan.
And what's your role in this today?
Yeah, at this point, we just, we deployed out here as soon as we heard of the incident. Incidents like this are tragic. Obviously, we're here to support the Oakland County Sheriff's Office and the local police departments out here with anything they need at this point. That's the extent of our participation.
So you've heard what everyone else has said. Is there anything else that you're able to add to that? In other words, what are you looking for? What are the things that you're trying to find out?
Yeah, we're going to plug in with these folks. We're going to provide any assistance that they request of us at this point. We have victim services, plenty of resources we can bring to bear if needed. But Oakland County is a very well-resourced county, and I'm sure that that they have the tools they need, but we're here to help if needed. That's all I have right now.
You could also help to figure out if there were any warning signs with this 15-year-old.
Yeah, listen, we're gonna look at everything. We're gonna assist as part of the investigation, and we'll just one step at a time. That's all I have right now.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you all.
Okay. Yes.
Do you have any information about the gun? Where student got the gun?
We don't have any of that information at this point in time.
Could I trouble you to please reiterate one more time when he was initially confronted and gave up, or what?
First call, my information is the first call came in at 51. Within 5 minutes, he was in custody by our deputies.
Is his locker been looked through and any other weapons?
There's no other weapons that we're aware of. That's correct.
Are there any police liaison officers at this
There's
school?
a deputy assigned to the high school full time, yes.
One of yours?
He was one of the deputies that helped take him into custody.
And what the news articles are saying is that the student, the perpetrator, he turned himself in. He contacted authorities, and when and then he asked for an attorney. So this person seems very, I mean, I don't know, I don't know the person at all, but just cognizant, at least aware, not like a blundering like maniac with no idea what he's doing. They seem to be very aware of what they're doing. So
and another deputy.
So
Are you aware which hospitals the victims were transported to?
Various hospitals. I prefer not to say what hospitals.
yeah, tell us which hospital so we can stalk them. Tell us.
They went to, just in case.
Were there any shots fired at the officers?
No, he gave up without any problems.
Sheriff, do we know what he was wearing? Did he have body armor or anything on, or normal?
There's no indication he was wearing body armor, no.
Was he injured in the...
He's not injured. No.
And obviously no indication of how he got the gun in there yet.
We know, but I'm not going to say right now.
No indication from other students of previous threats that you know of?
That they're all being interviewed now, so I can't say. I'm sure that will come out later. Okay, folks. I'm sorry?
Any connection with the severed deer head that was found a few weeks ago?
I have no idea about that.
So that was that little clip from the longer version. I want to show you the clip from the parent as well. And of course, Twitter's going crazy. You know, they're doing they're talking about guns and restrictions and laws and all that stuff. I want to show you this clip first. Well, this person titled it, captioned it, a parent suggests some kids knew about the threat to the Oxford High School today and did not want to go to school, including her son. Check out this little clip here.
Who's speaking at this moment?
Stay at school, so this is not something that's just, you know, for them to just up to date to say, I don't want to go to school. Something has been going on at Oxford High that's been keeping these kids not wanting to go to school, I would say.
So several knew about the threat.
Several may have. I don't know. I just know today.
Do you know if anybody reported the threat to the school?
That I don't know, because I was trying to call the staff, and then at the time that this was going down, I was not able to get in touch with her anymore. So I don't know.
And did you say your son was at school today?
No, my son was not at school today.
Because of the threat?
He was not at school today. He just said that, I don't feel comfortable. None of the kids that we go to school with are going today. That's all he said. Then prior to us going to go to McDonald's to get something to eat, a footage came through his phone. And that's what it was. And he was like, Mom, look, this. I said, oh, no, you're not about to let this just sit here like this. You have to go to the school, but I'm not sending him back to this school.
Footage came through his phone?
Through his phone. Prior to us going to go to McDonald's to get something to eat, a footage came through his phone. And that's what it was. And he was like, Mom, look, this. I said, oh, no, you're not about to let this just sit here like this. You have to go to the school, but I'm not sending him back to this school. This is ridiculous. There's too much going on,
Who's speaking at this moment?
Yeah.
Schools.
I wanted to show you this other post as well. This was earlier. The students found themselves in high school shootings. Students that found themselves in high school shootings like those in Oxford High School share text messages of their own close encounters. Emergency operators received over 100 calls from Oxford High. This does not appear anywhere else. I don't know if this is like from this situation or a different situation. It says, so far my teacher got shot. The doors open. Just know no matter what you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Students that found themselves in school shootings like those share their text message. So I guess it's different text messages that they're sharing. Mom, there's a shooting. Mom, help. Where? School. Calling police. This was a clip earlier too as well. You can see some of the vehicles and stuff just rushing out there. Emergency response. There were some from inside as well. Here. So it's like somebody, I guess, maybe an officer or somebody trying to tell them, hey, you can come out, it's safe, but they like don't believe it.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door and look at my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He said bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
He said bro.
Go. Slow down, you're fine.
I want you to drop backpacks. You're okay. We're okay.
I wouldn't be here. Before I get into my remarks and any detail, I was informed after the tour, I learned about a school shooting in Michigan. We learned, as we learned the full details, my heart goes out to the families enduring the unimaginable grief of losing a loved one. Apparently there were somewhere in the order of 9 people shot and several, or 3 I think, are dead. And the young man, I think, is, as I understand it from staff, is about 15 years old, and he turned himself in, and just said he claimed his right against self-incrimination and handed over his pistol. That's all we know about it, but you've got to know that that whole community has to be just in a state of shock right now, being here.
So right now, we're just kind of waiting to see it. They were supposed to be, I think, a 5 o'clock.
Do have a suspect in custody. But there's like this closet actually in the classroom.
Hold on, let's play this video for you guys. Sorry, it's really only audio actually, but play this. I want to see if we can hear the 5 p.m. presser. I think that was supposed to happen.
They responded to reports of a shooting at Oxford High, and they do have a suspect in custody. The Sheriff's Department says they've also recovered a handgun. 17-year-old Savannah said she's a student at Oxford, and when they heard gunshots, she says they began to hide.
We lock the doors, but there's this closet actually in the classroom, so it's very safe, and the classroom is in the back corner.
The Oakland County Sheriff said at least 4 people were injured, but they did not report any fatalities, Lisa. Thanks, Jessica. A California gun rights fight may be headed for the U.S. Supreme Court. Today, a federal court of appeals has overturned 2 lower court judges to uphold the state's ban on high-capacity magazines.
That's interesting. There's also some, I believe this is live. Let me put some of this live feed, and I'm going to browse Twitter a little bit and see what comes up.
In our community, as well as the FBI and some of the first responders as well. But again, we expect another briefing here very soon with the latest update on developments as they continue to unfold and as the investigation continues to unfold in Oxford following.
Another even more detailed briefing tonight at 10 o'clock.
Latest update. Here's Mike McCabe.
On Telegraph, the governor's here. Chief Lyon, retired chief from Waterford, now works for Rochester Hills Fire Department. Major Childs, Major Snary's here. FBI was here. U.S. Marshal, ATF was here. Just to tell you, some of the departments that have assisted us were the Southfield PD, Troy PD, Bloomfield Township PD, Michigan State Police, Oxford Village, FBI, U.S. Marshal, huge amount of fire departments, Lapeer County Sheriff's Office. So, as I told you earlier today, we about 12:51, we had over 100 911 calls into our dispatch center of an active shooter at the Oxford High School, which is right across the way there. You've all seen it. Deputies responded and within 5 minutes had the suspect in custody. He did not cause any problems. He gave the weapon up. He did have the weapon on him at the time. It was a semi-automatic handgun. He'd fired multiple shots. We have updated information on the number of deceased. It is 3. We have 3 students, a 16-year-old male, a 14-year-old female, and a 17-year-old female. We also have 8 others that were shot in various stages at 3 different hospitals, McLaren Lapeer, McLaren Pontiac, and St. Joe's in Pontiac. The 2 people are currently in surgery, do not have their condition. The other 6 are all in stable condition with various gunshot wounds. The suspect, like I said, 15 years old, student of Oxford High School, lives in the village of Oxford. And if there's, Governor, if you want to say anything, and then I'll take any questions after that.
Well, I just appreciate the quick response of all of our first responders. My heart goes out to the families. This is an unimaginable tragedy. I hope that we can all rise to the occasion and wrap our arms around the families, the affected children and school personnel, and this community. It is an unimaginable tragedy, and I just wanted to be here because I think this is an important moment for us to support one another, to support this community, and I want to thank our first responders again.
Take limited questions. Again, we'll have much more detail tonight at 10. I can tell you we're still actively working the scene. Our forensic lab is here, multiple detectives. We had over 100 cars respond, plus a huge amount of patrol cars from other area agencies that I listed prior to this.
Anything new on motivation as to what might have motivated him to do this?
I'm sorry, sir?
Anything new on what might have motivated him?
We don't have a motive at this point in time. We are still investigating that.
Mike, what do you know about possibly warning signs we're hearing from students and parents?
We're hearing all kinds of rumors about warning signs. I can tell you that we have a school liaison deputy that's assigned to the high school. I'm not aware of, and we are not aware of any warnings. If there were, I can tell you we work very closely with Tim Throne, the superintendent, and the principal at the school. If there were, I got to believe they would have told us. There's all kinds of stuff out on social media. Please don't believe everything you hear and see on social media. I've seen one screenshot of something about allegedly the shooter warning people not to come to school today, but that was somebody that got it from somebody. So please be careful with that information. There's a lot of, because of social media, there's a lot of stuff out there. I can't confirm whether it's true or not. Ultimately, we will get to the bottom of this. We're executing a search warrant at the suspect's house. As I said, he's not cooperating with us at this point in time.
So you have made contact with the parents. Can you say what they are talking about yet? Have you had a chance to talk
We have
to
talked to the parents, and all I can tell you is they didn't want their son to talk to us, and they've hired an attorney.
Was the student in school in class today? Or
Yes, he was in class today, yes. The shooting happened in the school. Most of the shootings, as my understanding, is in the south end of the school. I can't tell you specifically if it was in a classroom, or we will have more detail for you at 10 o'clock tonight.
Do we know the students that were shot? Were they in the hallway in the classroom with him? Do we know any more details on where
I can't tell you that because I don't know.
Were they targeted specifically?
We don't know if they were targeted. We will get to the bottom of that as we get further into this investigation.
Whose weapon was it?
I'm sorry?
This quick response obviously saved many lives.
Absolutely. I can tell you, Oxford Community Schools and our office have trained multiple times on active shooters. This school district's been very good in training their personnel and their students on active shooters.
I think it's too early. I think it's too early to talk about policies that might need to change as a result of this. We're relying on law enforcement to share information as it is available, but at this point, I think we need to focus on the tragedy at hand in the moment.
How did you hear about this, Governor? Can you just talk to us about when you heard about this?
My team has been in communication with Dave Coulter and leadership here in Oakland County, the Sheriff's Office, the Michigan State Police, and so I heard pretty quickly, but obviously we've been monitoring it, not having a lot of information, and so appreciate the work that they're doing to keep us all informed.
We have seen these in other states and other parts of the country. Now it's here. What does that say?
That this is a uniquely American problem that we need to address, but at this juncture, I think we need to focus on the community, the families, supporting all the first responders, including the incredible people at our hospitals that are working so hard to save the lives of those who are fighting for their lives right now.
And I can tell you're so deep, and as you should be. You're a mom, and you're a human being. You're so deeply affected by this. Talk to us about that.
I think this is every parent's worst nightmare.
Mike, you're still working the scene of the school.
Correct.
Chances are school will not be held there tomorrow or anytime soon, correct?
I got to believe school's not going to be in session tomorrow. That's correct.
Yeah, you have a big scene.
That is correct. We've done 3 sweeps of the high school to make sure that there's no other victims or anything else that we need to be aware of. But it's a fairly large crime scene. Like I said, our forensic lab is here processing the scene. I can tell you that all the parents and relatives have been notified of the deceased and of everyone that is that was shot, and a deputy has been assigned to each and every family.
Do you know the ages of those victims?
Yes, I know, but I'm not going to say at this point in time.
You said you talked to the parents of the shooter.
Very briefly.
Are they cooperating?
Well, in that they came and saw their son at our Oxford Township substation and then left.
And said, and they told him not to speak to police?
That's correct, which is his right.
But that would also indicate not a willingness to cooperate at this time.
Well, at this time, who knows what the future brings.
Yeah.
Pontiac now, is that correct?
He's at Pontiac Children's Village. He's 15 years old, so he's lodged as a juvenile at this point in time. He could be charged as an adult. Again, that's totally up to the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office.
How would you characterize the parents? Were they cooperative?
You know,
Were they
I
taking any of your questions?
I can't say I wasn't there. I can just tell you they came to the substation. They met with their son. They told us that they would not let him talk. We have to, in a juvenile, we have to get permission from the parents or the guardian of that juvenile in order to speak to them. And we did not get that.
2 letters sent home to parents this month regarding other threats. Any indication that they're tied together?
No, there's no indication of that. I know a question came up earlier about a deer head incident. This is absolutely unrelated. That was a different incident.
We're going to talk about that.
Any indication that this shooter was bullied in school?
No indication at this point in time, but, you know, it's ongoing, so I don't know.
Do you know whether or not this is a student who had contact with discipline?
I got two talking at once. Go ahead.
What does the school do to make sure guns aren't getting in, and how might that have broken down?
Well, we have a deputy assigned to the school full-time, obviously. Not all schools have metal detectors. They have one entrance. This school district has taken great care, in my opinion. I live here. I live about 1.5 miles from here. I can tell you, I know the superintendent personally. He has been very proactive in terms of trying to protect the school district. So I think they've done everything they can. Should every school and every building have metal detectors? You know, it's very expensive, but I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Was the deputy on duty the one who actually...
Hang on, you go next.
How much ammunition did he have on him?
He fired multiple shots. Somewhere in the area of 15 to 20 at this point in time.
Undersheriff, do you know whether or not this is a student who had contact with discipline in the past with this school system?
I don't know that.
Undersheriff, was it a ghost gun?
What, a ghost gun?
A gun that was
No. No. No, I can tell you it was not. I can't say. I can just tell you it's not a ghost gun.
Was it a family
member?
I'm not going to get into that at this point in time.
Was the deputy assigned to the school the one who apprehended
The deputy and another deputy who also responded were the ones that took him into custody.
And you said that was all within 5 minutes.
My information is from the time the first call came in to the time he was taken into custody was 5 minutes, approximately 5 minutes. We had over 100 911 calls come into our 911 center.
And having said that, can you characterize if they had not intervened within that 5 minutes, this could have been a lot worse and he could have kept shooting perhaps?
You know, I don't know if he ran out of bullets or not at this point in time, so I don't want to speculate.
Was the assigned deputy in the building at the time of the shooting?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did the assigned deputy, the full-time deputy, encounter the shooter, or was he inside the building when it happened?
He and another deputy took him in custody in the building. I'm sorry?
Oh, what about the 6 that are injured? Howard, you got any updates on their
I just got the 2 are in surgery. We don't know their conditions. And 6 are in stable condition. There are a total of 11. 3 dead, 8 shot.
8 shot.
Correct. Yeah, updated from the last time we were here. Correct.
Do you know if there's surveillance video in the school that might assist?
There is a lot. This school district does a great job with cameras. There are multiple cameras that detectives are going to have to go through and search.
How is the FBI assisting?
They're here to give us all the support we need. As you know, the Special Agent in Charge Waters was here earlier, and they will give us technical assistance in terms of, we've got social media searches, we have potential cell phones. There are 1,800 students that go to this high school, okay? I'm not saying all 1,800 were here today, but we have to interview each and every one if they have any knowledge whatsoever.
Do you have any information on the makeup of the 11 injured between teachers and students?
One teacher, the rest are students.
Undersheriff, I assume that you're also looking for information from the public, anybody who's had contact with this young man or anybody. So why don't you make your plea to the public?
Yeah, please, if anybody has any information, you can call the Sheriff's Dispatch Center at 248-858-4911. That's 248-858-4911.
What kind of information are you looking for from the public?
Any information they may have. If they've heard, if they know anything at all about this young man or what was going to happen or what happened today, they can call us.
Is your knowledge, is this suspect had any prior run-ins with law enforcement?
Not to my knowledge, no. Okay, all right, we'll be 10 again, 10 o'clock. No, at Sheriff's Headquarters in Pontiac, 38 East, Building 38 East, 1200 North Telegraph. It'll be a lot warmer because we'll be inside. Michael McCabe, MC.
Okay, so we're gonna come back in a little bit and check that out. Thank you guys again for stopping by. A couple of things that I want to show you, and please hit the like if you don't mind too. That really helps out. So let me show you this, which is interesting. Dave Bondi says, our Courtney Bennett TV talked to a student who said he has seen rumors on social media that something was going to happen at the school today on social media. Courtney also talked to the parent who said her son begged her to stay home today. So we saw that clip earlier. And I guess this is somebody else. I wonder, did they post the clip? Oh, this is them right here. Coming up at 5, Michigan Now. Did we miss that? Can we see that? The same thing I was watching.
16, 14, 17. 16, 14, 17, 14, 16-year-old male, 14 female, 17. Yeah, 16-year-old.
This looks like the same thing we're watching. I wonder. I'm gonna keep this open. I'm curious to see them talk. That's what I want to see, what they have to say. Hear more from them tonight. The other thing too, they got helicopters.
That thank goodness that it was only a handgun, or we can imagine that the folks that are injured, that count number would be much higher. You're looking at a video from the scene earlier today here. You see that from Chopper 7 overhead, as well as the life flights that were coming here to help some of the injured potentially. We do have a lot of information that's unfolding in all this. We do want to go to Kim Russell first here, if we can. This is just a terrible situation for all involved. The reason why the Meijer here is behind me is because this was an evacuation area. The high school, less than a quarter mile away, this is an evacuation area. This is the area where the students would come with to be reintroduced to their parents. And also this is where a lot of the sheriff's office was here talking with those students, helping get them back to their parents, and where parents were frantically coming to just to see if their students, if their son, their daughter was okay. Let's go now to Kim Russ, who's live. Kim, you talked with a parent of Oxford High School. What did you hear today?
That's right, Brian. I spoke to a mom and a son, and they were across from the school, across from the Meijer, where all of the students were evacuated to, and came up to talk to us to say that he felt threatened because there had been threats around school. Now, you heard the undersheriff say that it's not clear whether what that young man was talking about was at all connected to what happened today, but he chose to stay home because he felt uncomfortable. And the next thing he knew, he was learning that one of his friends is amongst the people shot in this shooting today. Here's what his mom and him had to say to me.
Describe the threat again for me.
Actually, the threat was stating that I hear your voice, and if you come to this school, you're gonna get shot. I know who you are, so if you don't want to get killed, you should stay home.
And this message was for someone specific,
people? Yeah, it was for, I guess, to the students. So I was not aware of this, but a lot of kids of the ones that I do know did not want to go to school. They haven't been, and not wanting to stay at school. So this is not something that's just, you know, for them to just up to date to say, I don't want to go to school. Something has been going on at Oxford High that's been keeping these kids not wanting to go to school.
Thing that became clear today was that there was a lot of planning. After this happened, the students were evacuated from the school to the Meijer, which is where Brian and I have been reporting from right now. And what I've been hearing from people who are involved in the school system is that one thing that is clear to them is that so much has gone into active shooter training, and this happened so fast. And that training may have very likely saved lives, because we have talked to students, we have talked to parents, and we have heard that there was a very organized response considering the horrific violence that was happening. There was law enforcement around this mire making sure that students were safe. There was first aid here, media, the public, nobody was allowed into this mire. It was one of the safest places to be today, surrounded by law enforcement, Michigan State Police, Troy Police, numerous local law enforcement agencies, and the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, all working together to make sure the students that were evacuated were safe. And Brian, I know that you have much more to say about this.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
It really is.
Somebody put a picture up, but I don't know. No. I'm not going to put that up because I don't know who this is. And they have no reactions. So crazy looking motherfucker. I don't think this is
when
it,
you
though.
think about the students and just how prepared they were. It's our understanding that an active shooter drill at the high school was just less than 2 months ago, back October 7th. So they were prepared. We've heard that over and over again as we talked with students throughout the day here. There's still so many questions left to be answered. From our understanding that the shooting happened at the south end of the school, Jim Kirshner has been on this all day trying to get some of those questions answered, and he's with the undersheriff right now. Jim?
Brian, I have the undersheriff Mike McCabe as well as a fire official here as well, but just to clarify a couple of things. You said this happened at the south end of the school complex. It's a big complex, obviously.
Yes.
What does that mean in terms of being able to get in, access to these shooting victims, and handling this scene as it's unfolding?
Well, the school's done a great job. School district has done a great job preparing for the worst, unfortunately, and it happened today. All the doors are marked. We have floor plans of all the schools. So we were prepared because we've trained with them. We've trained with the fire department for situations just like this. And unfortunately, it came true today. But yeah, it's a large school. There's 1,800 students that go to this high school.
And the lingering question, as we discussed at the briefing a little while ago, is everybody wants to know the million-dollar question, of course, and that is why. Are you getting any indication from your investigators, talking to fellow students, talking with friends of this 15-and-a-half-year-old male student who lives in the village, what was going through his mind?
Not at this point in time, because he's not talking to us. His parents showed up at the substation where we had taken him into custody and declined to let us interview him, which is his right.
Yeah, and that could change.
That could change. They could, absolutely. They can change their mind.
And obviously right now he's facing at least 3 murder charges.
3 murder charges and 8 attempted murder.
Exactly.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Felony firearm.
Now he's 15, so it'll be up to the prosecutor whether he's charged as an adult or as a juvenile.
That is correct. Right now, Michigan changed the law. He's 15, he'd be a juvenile either way, but 17-year-olds used to be considered adults, but he's 15, so he's a juvenile. We have to get permission from the parents to interview him. He has to waive his rights. His parents have to voluntarily waive his rights for him and let us speak to him, and they declined to do that.
Only child in this family?
I don't know that.
Okay. Do the circumstances, I don't know the law, you know it better than I do the circumstances of a situation like this help to make that charging decision, whether it's an adult or a juvenile?
That make the charging decision?
Yeah, in other words, is it exacerbating circumstances?
Well, something this serious, I got to believe the prosecutor is going to make that call, that direction. I'd be shocked if it wasn't, but again, that's out of our control.
And is that a discretionary call?
It's a discretionary call by the prosecutor, yes.
Okay. Stand by, because I want you to get in on this as well. So now we know the updated information is 11 victims, 3 fatal, 8 injured. What a horrific scene for your personnel to walk in on.
Yeah, for first responders to walk in, it's very devastating. As you kind of come down, as the scene kind of progresses, we're going to have some firefighters, some first responders are going to be affected. We've already dispatched chaplains here into Oxford Township Fire Department. There's chaplains at the school dealing with school officials, and then we'll have some other chaplains here and get them out there. Crisis response team will be here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you. You tell me your first name.
John Lyman.
Yes.
Lyman.
And you had how many personnel going in?
We had probably 60 ambulances here. We probably had about 100 personnel between private and local municipal fire departments.
You've never had anything like this.
I've been in the fire service 35 years, never seen anything like this.
Your personnel are going to have to decompress from this as well.
Yeah, we'll do some defusings, debriefings across the board. You know, the sheriff's office will do their thing too, and you know, we want our guys to be healthy and be ready for the next response after this is over, because they you know, emergency calls keep on coming.
Thank you very much. I know I asked you this during the briefing as well. It's going to be a horrific scene in there. I don't want to get gory and graphic about what's inside there, but it's going to be a few days.
Oh, it's going to be several days, absolutely. Yes.
We wouldn't be surprised if maybe they do online classes or something that emerged with COVID between now and the holidays.
I'm sure that's what's going to occur. I'll talk to the superintendent here when we leave this scene, and I got to believe that's what they're going to do. Again, that's their call, but I guarantee you there'll be no school tomorrow, probably not for the rest of the week.
You and I have known each other a lot of years. I don't know you, but let me ask you this. Have you established, do you know any of these families? You said you live 1.5 miles away from here. Do you know any of these?
I don't know any of them. I don't believe I know any of them, no.
That would certainly hit.
I've got names of, I don't have the names of all of them. I have the names of some of them.
Yeah.
But
And
the ones I have, I'm not familiar with.
But that would certainly hit it home for
Right.
you.
Correct.
In a much more than a
All right.
professional way.
So there's images flying around on the internet, man, but there's no way to verify it. It looks like BS. Is, you know, so I don't want to put something out until I want to see a little bit more. But it's basically some white dude with some blonde hair, like glasses, and he's holding a gun. But I've seen 2 different accounts post it, like accounts that were just made this month. I can't tell what day of the month, November 2021. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw somebody else post a picture of a woman, and it seems to be fake as well. A lot of people called this person out because they went and checked out the account. So this is nothing new. You're going to see a lot of this fake images and people trolling, you know.
Information to me. So that happened indoors inside the store.
That's what I was told, that
Yeah.
they shut the store down so the kids wouldn't freeze outside.
Because I was over there briefly, and I could see people walking through the parking lot arm in arm.
Yeah.
But they actually
shut the store down.
The store.
Correct, yes.
Wow. That's amazing, too. Extenuating circumstances across the board. Any final thoughts, sir?
None, sir. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to those families. We'll be praying for sure.
Gentlemen, thank you both for your service and
Thank
for
you.
handling
Thank you.
this tragic situation today.
Thank you.
Brian, back to you.
And Jim, as you just said, that was new information to you. That's kind of what these next few days are going to look like for us as this investigation gets out of the early stages and starts progressing. We're going to be learning new information as we go on. But here is what we know right now, that there are 8 people that have been injured in this shooting, including a teacher. 2 are in surgery right now. And then the more dire news, that 3 students have died. And we're talking about a 16-year-old male, a 14-year-old female, and a 17-year-old female that lost their lives today inside Oxford High School at this mass shooting situation. We do want to go live to 7 Action News reporter Heather Catallo. She is outside of the hospital with more information on those victims. Heather?
That's right, Brian. We're at McLaren, Oakland, where some of the victims have been brought. There's also some at McLaren, Lapeer, and I know that there is one patient at St. Joseph, Oakland, nearby here. I'm told that patient is in stable condition. As you said, we heard from the sheriff that 2 of them are in surgery. The other 6 are considered stable. Now, earlier, about a half hour ago or so, we saw a group of students and family members try to come here to this hospital, obviously hoping they could get inside to see some of their loved ones and their friends. They were not allowed inside. It was a very emotional scene after certainly just an absolutely horrific day for them. So our hearts go out to them. Also, we've been seeing law enforcement, of course, going in and out of this hospital. I know that they're trying to gather all of the information and potentially talk to anybody that can help them with this investigation. So we've seen them here as well. And I've been connecting with sources throughout hospitals here in Metro Detroit today. As soon as news of this shooting broke, hospitals were just stopping surgeries and preparing for just the worst case scenario, preparing for mass trauma casualties. So again, we have patients here at McLaren Oakland, McLaren Lapeer, and at St. Joseph Oakland. We are trying to get more information from the hospitals right now about conditions and updates and what we can. And as soon as we learn that information, of course, we will bring it to you. Reporting.
Okay, so a couple of things I want to show you, and then I want to talk to you guys too about a couple of things that have been going on behind the scenes, or just things that I haven't really had a chance to talk about. But this was interesting too, this post on Twitter. Somebody said, F Oxford High School for ignoring the complaints from a parent about a student threatening students at the high school. They ensured they would handle the situation. Nothing was done. F your ish at school. Now, there was a situation that people are talking about where apparently some sort of student, was it like a deer head or something? Somebody had brought some sort of head, an animal head, to the school. This wasn't like today. This was a prior incident. And so they're posting this thing online. Thought I had a better link. Oh, this is another one too. We'll check out. This is kind of sad. They're posting this, which like, it's not the full thing. It's kind of even hard to read. But I'm told that this is not from this incident. This is a prior incident that this was posted on. It says, we are aware of the numerous rumors that have been circulating throughout our building. We understand that has created some concern for students and parents. Please know that we have reviewed every concern shared with us and investigated all information provided. Some rumors have evolved from an incident last week, while others do not appear to have any connection. Student interpretations of social media posts and false information have exacerbated that's how you say it, the overall concern. We want our parents and students to know there has been no threat to our building nor our students. The safety and security of our students and staff is always top priority. To accomplish this task, OHS has numerous highly trained professionals who work to keep our children safe, and so on and so forth. Some of the comments on this, because there's some people were saying that they go to this school and that this is BS. Let me see if I can find a comment. An email sent out about how they're addressing the concerns doesn't do ish. Where did you get this information from? They're tagging all the news media. I don't know where I must have lost the post, because I had a post where somebody replied that went to the school and said that that's not true. Like, this is not for this incident. It's for something else. Let me see. Maybe it's here. Oh. There is a video on TikTok of the person who left the deer head at the Oxford High. Looks like a cop aware of an occult meaning deer head. I don't even know. I think I need a screen dial. Let me see real quick.
Throwback to when a deer head got thrown into our courtyard. Throwback to when a deer head got...
Yeah, there was a deer head. This was posted on 11/12. What the kids are doing these days. There's also this post. It says Madison Baldwin is still missing in Michigan following the Oxford High School shooting. So I guess somebody made a post. It says, my son Caleb is safe. My niece Emma Scott and my nephew Aiden Scott are safe. However, my granddaughter Madison cannot be located at all. Madison is 17 years old and a senior this year at Oxford High School. Our family is out on foot trying to find her and bring her home safe. She's not answering her cell phone or text messages. She was not in her psychology class during the time of the shootings, where she was scheduled to be. No contact with her mother, father, stepmother, grandparents, aunts, friends, or her boyfriend. And so they're saying here supposedly that this is confirmed to be supposedly one of the people that are dead. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I think one of the ages was 17. Somebody said her unconfirmed reports are saying that she may be one of the students. She is confirmed to be deceased. So Everyone from our school is posting she's dead. So, yeah, pretty crazy. The other thing too, I had a couple people messaging me. And I'm just checking for updates. And we're gonna take a look back at this. Some people were telling me about Michaela Nelson. This was a missing woman from Ohio. I spoke to James Terry about it, I think over the weekend, and I spoke to him before about it. He was covering the case. She's been found. I actually got a call from him this morning because so apparently some drama happened. He was on another channel and he was discussing the case. And so I went and looked this morning. It was kind of crazy. It was actually it was funny kind of when I watched it, but she's found, she's safe. I'm glad I didn't spend a bunch of time because I was actually working on putting a video together today. Like I started collecting notes, I made a folder, started downloading pictures, yada, and boom, she's found. So I don't know if that story is really going to continue or that's it. It's just kind of, but she's fine. The other thing too, for the people that have watched the channel, people that are just following, some of the stories and updates, the previous stories that I covered, Heidi Plank, they're saying that they had some sort of evidence that led them to check the landfill. This is a woman that went missing in LA. She went to her son's sports game. The father was there. They're separated. And then she just abruptly leaves. Her dog is found in this building in downtown LA, like at the top floor. Then video came out of her like walking fast, and she was never found. And I think they found a vehicle, and they found some sort of evidence, undisclosed forensic evidence that led them to a landfill. And so there's just talks that she may actually not be alive. It says the evidence was allegedly found at the same apartment complex where Plank's dog was found wandering alone. The discovery of the undisclosed forensic evidence led those involved with the investigation to believe that Plank may be dead. So just kind of little snippets of what's kind of going on, I think there was something else I can't remember. Let me pull back up over here and see what they're saying.
We, of course, will be working to learn more information about them, their conditions, hoping that those two that are in surgery make it out okay. We do know that the 15-year-old suspect is in custody, and that
parents
he
are
had a handgun
rushing
with him. That's how he allegedly orchestrated this. Thank goodness that it wasn't a more powerful weapon. And it was only 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes that all of this was able to happen before sheriffs were able to respond. We're told that the suspect did give up without a firefight with law enforcement. So some of these questions will hopefully be able to be answered as this investigation unfolds, because they will be able to talk with that suspect. That is something that isn't always the case in situations like this, unfortunately. Glenda, that has changed here, but just a horrific day in our community here in Oxford and Oakland County. There's something that we know that might be possible because we see these stories on national television, but for it to be in our backyard is something different and incredibly heartbreaking and heavy tonight. Glenda?
All right, Brian, and we know we've had a slow reveal as to what could have possibly been going on in the mind of this young shooter. But we did hear the undersheriff say that the parents showed up at the substation, informed their 15-year-old not to speak, and then left. So, Brian, in speaking with you about that and getting to
Pulling up Brian Laundry. Just shut up. Don't say nothing.
Shooter could have possibly been thinking, we're understanding that students possibly may have had an insight into what was going on in the young man's mind. It's okay, and we're getting more information as we speak. We're going to go now to David Rosen and talk a little bit about what's happening.
That picture I told you guys about is starting to kind of blow up on Twitter now. I'm gonna have to, we'll see.
Not a good evening, actually.
No.
You know, hearts are broken
No,
and heavy.
it's fake. It's fake.
We've reported this
They're saying it's fake.
each time. It is hard. each time it is heartbreaking, but it's happening to our community and happening to us right now. Can you share with us, what's on the minds right now?
I think it's just sadness, and a deep sadness that this continues to happen when it's in our own backyard.
Good, bro.
Can you
David,
not
are you
hear
with
me?
us? Okay, there you are.
Okay. I think it's the horror of this happening in our own backyard, which is so terrifying.
All right, I think we're missing you there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I think that this is horrifying for all of us, and it hits us especially hard when it's in our own community. The sad part is that so often these tragedies are preventable. We just have swept mental health problems and these kinds of concerns under the rug.
And also too, we're in a very sensitive day and age now. And so there's a lot that can be said, picked up, messages crossed, especially as it relates to social media. Some of the young people saying they heard, hey, don't come to school today. You could die. There are rumors, of course, floating around, but there is a belief that where there is smoke, there is fire, and that there could have possibly been pre-warning that this student was going to do this today.
That is so often the case, and obviously I haven't spoken with this student, so I can't make a specific statement, but what I can say in general is more often than not there is a warning sign, and more often than not these people will talk to the peers beforehand and before talking with an adult. So this is a huge issue, and we have to listen to the signs. I always like to say that the internet can be a wonderful servant, but it's a cruel and crippling master. And that has had a huge impact on increased suicide rate, depression, and anxiety in teenagers.
Well, we understand that. We know what day and age it is. And just...
Do you hear me now? Or?
Yes, we do have you. We do have you. And we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much, Dave. We'll, of course, get back to you. We're in a breaking situation now as information comes to us. But we're going to go back out to Brian Abel, my partner.
All right. Let me show. Let's see what I got here. So the email, just a little clarification. Well, I don't even know if it's really clarified, but this was an email from November 4th from the principal of Oxford High School. The signs were all there. The kid went back to school next week. Now, and they're tagging them, the internet's going to go in a frenzy. It's going to get crazy. We just read this. I'm not going to reread it, but it was just basically did we read this? Oh, okay. And they're actually talking about the deer. But people are saying, well, is this the same person, the deer person, and this guy now? But the police said that it's not. And somebody said here, it's been confirmed that this was not the student. The student involved with the deer head was a senior. And the guy that did the shooting is a sophomore, I think. Yeah, this sophomore. Can you send the link? And we just watched this as well.
Indication that they're tied together.
No, there's no indication that. I know a question came up earlier about a deer head incident. This is absolutely unrelated. That
Illuminati. Now, this parent... Let's see. Yeah, this is like the longer version, I think. Hopefully. Let's watch this because I wanted to see again what the mother and the son had to say.
Yeah, this is actually Trayshawn and his mom, Robin Redding, who Trayshawn actually didn't go to school today. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him. He was actually just briefing police on what is believed to be kind of the threat that was leading up to this. Trayshawn, just a second, I'm going to start with your mom. Walk me through what this was like as a parent and explain. Trayshawn didn't go to school today because of a perceived threat, correct?
Well, he didn't go to school today because he was just not feeling comfortable with going to school. He had a conscience of saying, like, I don't want to go to school today, Mom. Can I just do it online? So I just said, okay, yeah. But then before him saying that, he said, Mom, none of the rest of the kids is going today. And I said, why? The rest of them not going? And he said, no. So I said, okay. He said he wasn't answering because all of them always say, I'm ready, I'm up, I'm getting on the bus, or meet me here, that nature, and that wasn't happening today.
And why was that? Was there an uneasy feeling about the kids had
he was
today?
that was just uneasy feeling that he had and didn't want to go.
I just got like a little feeling that like when I got up today, like I text me and my little cousins because I'm a senior, like they're like a little bit younger than me, so I text them and I was like, is anybody up? Who's going to school? Like, get up, let's go, we're going to school. No one responded, so I'm like, man, this is weird, like we never do this, like either like somebody's sick or like something's wrong. So I'm like,
what was worrying everybody? There have been some ominous threats posted in recent days. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. That it is. I've been hearing the threats too, and it's like, kids they play around and say, "Oh, we're gonna shoot up the school," or this. You don't supposed to play around with that.
Right.
Like, this is serious. You can't do that. So I mean, like, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on. In this school, it's been tragic, and it's like, I don't even know. It's just.
When you heard about what was going on at school today, you weren't there, but then you learned there's an active shooter. What was going through your mind?
My first thing when I got up, I put my shoes on, put my coat on, I told my mom, come on, let's go. I have a friend, he's more like my cousin. I think of him as my cousin. And I said, he's in there. He's the only one that went to school. And I need to get up there to get him out of that school because I don't want anything to happen to him.
And he is okay?
Yeah, he is fine. He's at home. He's a little bit scared, but he'll be okay. It's just been crazy.
Now, the threats that we've been talking about, I was just talking to the undersheriff again about that. They're looking into these threats. There was something posted about a deer head. Tell me about that.
That happened probably like a month ago, which is like somebody cut off a deer head, his neck, about like right on.
I don't know what these kids on, yo. They need to look into that kid that cut that deer's head off. Somebody need to investigate his crazy ass. Yeah. I know it's separate. We just start looking into these crazy ass people doing that.
His neck.
An actual deer head.
The actual deer head, blood and everything. And threw it in our courtyard in our school. Which you have to get inside the school to get in that courtyard. And it's outside.
Crazy ass kids.
And they drew all on the buildings on the wall looking for our principal. They want to talk to our principal, asking him where he is. I mean, it's a lot to this. I mean, I don't have all the details, but
and they're still investigating. He's confirmed if it's connected to this sophomore who pulled the trigger today. And as you guys got here, you saw a couple of the students come out. And I don't want you to name any names because they're still notifying people. But how is that hitting you, knowing that you know some of these kids that were shot today?
I mean, it worries me a lot. I mean, I grew up with these kids for so long. I've been going out here for almost 4 or 5 years now. And I know these kids that they're hurt and they're sad and their parents don't know what to do, but it's gonna be okay. God will heal everybody. Everybody will be fine.
We're certainly glad you're okay. And Robin, from a parent's standpoint, talk to me about safety. Do you feel safe letting Trayshawn go back to school here?
No, I do not, because they haven't got this under control. If all these things are already happening, you never know what might happen again. And I'm not finna risk my child being able to get hurt. So I would prefer just to have him online. I'm not sending him back to the school. There's nothing that nobody can say, oh, you going to school. Oh, it's over. You don't know. You can't predict anything for that to happen. So no, I'd rather for him to go online. My condolence goes out to the family and the staffs and all the, the kids that were injured into this and all the trauma ties and things that can cause all those students and staff.
And I've seen a lot of parents today, and they are definitely in a state of shock.
Yes.
Is it that way for you too?
Yes, it is. That's why I was up here like, I can't. I mean, if no one else is gonna let their voice be heard, then mine is gonna be heard. Yeah. You got to be able to get these kids under control. They have to. They have to get this whole thing under control. Security is a must. You can't say it won't happen. This can happen anywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sending my kid back to no school that he can't even sit down and get a lesson to know that I'm gonna get a phone call and say my child been shot or it's a shooting. No, that's devastating. It's crazy.
I can only imagine you must have been thanking God that your son did not go to school.
Yes, I was praying all the way thanking God, a blessing. Hey, you gotta listen to your kids. And he was very firm of saying, I'm not going.
Yeah.
So.
Robin, we're glad he's okay, and thank you both for talking to us.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. And Devin, Karen, by the way, the undersheriff had just told me a minute ago that we're expecting another briefing coming up at 5 o'clock.
So we saw the briefing at 5. I mean, I think that's it. I saw those floating things around the internet, but yeah, there's a lot of people that are, trolling right now. A lot of people are trolling. Oh, somebody did send the source link, which I love when people actually send the source. And then, well, this YouTuber said that you have to find from here, from there, and you got to go through here, through there to find from here, from where, and you're not sure, and they didn't put everything in, so just run with what they say. The source. Oh, thank you. I love it. So this one has, it says November 12th. Concerns and rumors. So this is what we read earlier. They're saying supposedly this was unrelated or to the deer incident, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And you got to think too, this is probably, if they knew something, this could lead to lawsuits and all kinds of things. And yeah, the internet right now is a lot of political talk, a lot of NRA talk, a lot of just craziness going on right now with that. And I feel like this just happens so often. It's kind of like, I feel like we're just, I don't know, like talking about it is kind of like, unless they're going to do something. I mean, I don't know what the right thing is. The thing too of this guy mentioning like, metal detectors might not be a bad idea. Saying that it's too expensive. Somebody left a comment on Twitter that it's like $5,000. I don't know if that's true or not, how much it is, but aren't these people spending all kinds of money on BS anyway? They can't put some metal detectors in the school. I mean, I'm pretty sure we had the X-ray thing. For me, I mean, it felt ridiculous. But for me, at the time, it felt ridiculous. Nowadays, shit, maybe not so anymore. It's like you're walking to the airport. You're going into the airport to go into high school. John Adams High School. We do another quick sweep. But yeah, Michaela's found, which is amazing. It's good. There's a bunch of people that are just found. There was this girl too that went missing. People go missing all the time. This girl, teenage girl in Florida. I was talking to Sylvia about this a little bit. I think I sent it to myself. She was found. She supposedly, I mean, I feel like this girl's hiding information, but supposedly she met some guy off the internet. At first they said it was a video game, but then now it's like she's saying WhatsApp. And it's like I guess she doesn't want to say the guy's name. It's just weird. I'm gonna play the video. You guys can hear her talk before we head out. There's a bunch of this stuff that happens all the time.
Has been found after leaving her home with someone she met online.
Police holding a news conference today about the case, and Local 10 reporter Trent Kelly is live in North Miami Beach with the latest developments. Trent.
Well, Janice, we know that teen was found in another state yesterday. Police, though, not telling us exactly where, as the feds are still investigating. Nevertheless, they tell us that teen did appear to be physically okay and was in good spirits. As they now work on getting her back home to South Florida, detectives are still searching for any sign of the person or people involved in her disappearance.
I just want everybody to be aware that if you converse with juvenile females or males online, we will catch you. North Miami Beach does not put up with that.
A strong statement from the North Miami Beach police chief after 14-year-old Yemi Henriquez, who went missing over the weekend, was found alive in another state. Henriquez taken by an older man who she apparently met online while chatting in a video game called Firemax.
This older gentleman, and I really use that word lightly, came to North Miami Beach and picked up this young girl at 14 years old. How disgusting.
Henriquez leaving her home early Saturday with a backpack and cell phone. Her worried mother receiving a phone call later that night from the teen, who was in tears, saying she was tired and cold.
She said, "Don't tell police, and this is no one's fault."
Don't tell police. I guess she just met some guy, thought she liked him.
She regrets leaving.
One of those calls coming in during our interview on Sunday. The teen quickly hanging up. Because the FBI is still investigating the case, police won't say exactly where Henriquez was found or who she was with. Detectives now trying to figure out if more people were involved, with Henriquez expected to arrive back in South Florida within the next day.
I would say that this person or persons are looking at serious charges to possibly include kidnapping. Once you cross the state line with a juvenile, it becomes a federal case, and that's why the FBI is involved. I can tell you, though, that we are looking for these individuals, and we will not stop until these individuals are caught.
Well, that was it. I mean, I know that's a story I haven't talked about, but just a bunch of mess everywhere going on. And there's quite a few missing people that when I start to cover the story, like a day later or 2 days later, they're found. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for joining. Appreciate you coming by for the live stream. December, I've been mentioning this. Oh, December's like 2 days, right? Or tomorrow. Oh shit, tomorrow's December. December, like mid-December, but latest mid-December, I'll have the new internet and everything's going to be amazing. And we're going to be on Facebook as well. This person's identity, the shooter, I haven't seen revealed yet. And yeah, man, I don't know. Just keep an eye on these kids. It feels like everybody's going crazy. Everybody's teachers going crazy. The kids going crazy. People going crazy. Adults going crazy. You got the new variant. End of the world. Can you play that video, Tim, too? Can you play that video, Tim? Oh, I got to read the super chats too. My bad. I forgot about that. Thank you so much for people that sent super chats. I appreciate that. Wasn't expecting that. Just do that real quick. Ems, thank you for the super chat. Oh, that was from the last one. Juanita, thank you for the super chat. I love the low fade. I'm just saying thank you. Gracias. And base K5, thank you. Hair looking good. You're the best. Glad you're back on air. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I need to come back. I know I got to come back. Care, thank you again. Brandy, thank you for the super chat. Laura, always appreciate you being on top of things and keeping us in the know. Thank you. Thank you. Amber Lassiter, thank you for all the hard work you've been doing. Thanks, Amber. Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat too. Politics, man, yeah, it's a big part of today. I mean, politics is just the thing is too, it's the parents, the parents are really putting it on the kids as well. I mean, you can tell some of the really young kids, they're saying things, you're just like, why are you even worried about that or thinking about that? Politics is a big influence. People stop talking to each other. Family members stop talking to each other over politics. These people just move on with their lives. But, the people in politics and the regular people arguing over it are losing friends and family and arguing. These people killing each other on the streets, burning shit down. It's crazy, man. School shooting. I wonder whose gun was that too. Whose gun this kid? Yeah. Was it the parents' gun, or did he get it from somewhere? There's a bunch of random photos people are uploading to, saying this is the person. This is the person. But yeah, man, thank you guys, man. Have a good night. Take care. We'll see what I come up with. We'll do some more content. Got to pick another missing person and then just still keep covering the current events. I wanted you to see that TikTok you played earlier. TikTok? I think I played, I don't think I played TikTok. I played some videos from Twitter. I don't know about TikTok. Yeah, I got to get back to the regular stream. Some people tell me they like the streams, man. Yeah. And that Michaela story, to me, honestly, the Michaela Nelson, it really wasn't. I mean, they thought she was okay from from all I heard, they were saying they think she's okay and she's a grown woman. Doesn't mean that somebody can't be in danger, you know. But there was really like no indicators that like she was maliciously taken in something like horrible. You know, that woman. I think she went through some things. When I was doing a little bit of research today, like collecting notes, she went through some hard stuff recently. I think her mother passed away. Something else. Oh, divorce, and losing her mother a few months ago from breast cancer, and then she was in the National Guard, which I think maybe that's part of the reason, because she kind of left her station and didn't come back, and you know you can't do that, and so it seems like maybe she was just in hiding. She maybe didn't want to be found, and she didn't want to face consequences. You know, this is just me on the very, very outskirts of it. But you know, she's alive. She's all right. You don't know how many times that happens. You know, I mean, she's been missing for a while, but sometimes a person goes missing and people like want you to jump on it immediately, which it is important. Like if you're just going to share a post or whatever, but sometimes when you're making a video, I've had times where I'm literally making the video and as I'm editing, boom, the person's found. I'm like, what? Or literally I hit save and like publish it and the person's found. I'm like, oh crap. You know, I mean, it's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But like sometimes you gotta find ways that are more efficient. Yeah, she went AWOL. It was deemed AWOL. That's what James Terry said, deemed AWOL. So I'm guessing she didn't want to face responsibilities, you know. And that I should get off. But I was just thinking about the new variant too, and I was just like, oh my god, this variant. I'm so over that already. But you know, I think South Africa discovered it or something. South Africa's pissed off. They're saying it's discrimination, the travel ban, all this stuff, man. Everybody's pissed. Erica said, yes, it is. When my daughter was in college, she called me about an active shooter on her campus. Very scary. Thank God everyone else is okay. Yeah, the situation could have been worse. I mean, for the people that got, you know, killed, you know, and lost their kids, that's horrible. But it could have been way worse. So I'll probably do a little update like on Facebook when they release the identification. People want to know. So, all right, man, you guys have a good night. Peace. Adios. Peace. Thanks for stopping by.